Hello. It's been a while since I've had you up here to my study. I gave a couple tours of it some time ago and I've done a little bit of reading from here. And I thought I would read to you again. I'm going to read to you from Tangier, my first novel. Came out a couple of years ago. And Tangier tells two parallel stories. One is set in 1995, and it involves a man named Christopher Chaffee, who was looking for his father, who he thought all of his life had died before he was born. His father, he was told, had died in a German prison camp in 1940. But he's just found out that his father was in Tangier, Morocco in 1940, and it's just possible he's still alive. And so he's gone to Tangier in search of his father, though in his heart of hearts he doesn't really believe he'll find him. And he's learned of a man named Drake, who was with British intelligence back at that time, and is looking for him. And a friend of Chaffee's that he's made in Tangier, another American, tells him of a woman who owns a bar where this friend sometimes plays piano. And she's been around since the 30s and seems to know everybody. And he's thought, maybe she knows this Drake fellow. So he goes to the bar with Draper, his friend. An ancient woman sat at a table near the end of the bar, absently waving an ebony cigarette holder. She tilted her head back and exhaled a long plume of smoke at a caged parrot suspended above her. Despite the heat from the small fireplace next to her, the old woman pulled her scarf closer around her crepey neck and took a sip from a glass filled with a strange-looking liquid. "So she's the one you were telling me about?" Chaffee asked, nodding in the old woman's direction. "Yeah," Draper said. "The owner, Madame Dubois." "Madame Dubois? Sounds like the bawd in a Bourbon Street bordello. What's her first name?" Draper considered the question. "Beats the hell out of me. Maybe she hasn't got one. They say she's been here forever. Even the guidebooks mention her. Owned the place more than 50 years, since the late 30s. The locals claim she's immortal." Chaffee eyed her again and sipped at his bourbon. "Not much of a favor, I'd say." Her eyes closed as if dreaming. The woman drew languidly on her cigarette and exhaled slowly. Chaffee snorted. "She's a phony. It's all a pose. I can feel it." Draper glanced at the old woman, then quickly away as if her gaze might turn him to stone. "I don't know. If she's been phony this long, it's real. You want to meet her?" The old woman's eyes shifted wearily in their direction as they approached. "Draper, early as always, you're such a good boy," she drawled, her voice thick and slow and dreamy with a detachment Chaffee thought strange until he caught a whiff of the smoke around her head and recognized the smell of cannabis. She gazed at Chaffee a long time before giving Draper a sidelong glance. "So who's your friend?" "Madame Dubois, this is Chris from the United States, like me." "Welcome to La Crépuscule, Monsieur Chaffee." Madame Dubois raised her eyebrows as if he'd given her a false name. She allowed him a moment to change his story before giving him a have-it-your-way shrug. "Chaffee," she repeated, and then turned to her pianist. "Well, Draper, are you going to play for me tonight?" "Sure, that's why I'm here. What should I play?" The effort of smiling appeared to tire her, and she gave it up. She waved her cigarette holder and looked at the ceiling. "Whatever you like. You play The Girl from Ipanema, yes? Well, for God's sake, don't play it here. This will be the only bar in the world where the pianist never plays The Girl from Ipanema." Her shoulders began to shake, and her breath came in broken spasms. It took Chaffee a moment to realize she was laughing. "No, baby." She patted Draper on the head. "Play something of your own tonight." Draper smiled and nodded. "Sure thing," he said, and drifted off towards the piano. The ancient woman smiled again. "He's a good boy. What brings you to Morocco, Monsieur Chaffee?" Again she gave him that look and rolled the word around in her mouth as if it had an odd taste. "Chaffee." "Family business." He sensed that she was the sort you didn't lie to, nor tell the whole truth. "And Draper invited you down here thinking you'd be amused to meet the mad Frenchwoman who runs this place. Well, I'm told you've had this place forever. Forever, she repeated like a prisoner contemplating an unexpectedly harsh sentence. Everyone thinks I was born old and immediately became the owner of this bar. The idea evidently held its ambiguous pleasures. It occurred to Chaffee that he might be happy enough to let it stop right here. Something about the woman gave him the sort of shiver down his back that the ancients must have felt when consulting the oracle. Hell, he thought, she's probably the oracle's grandmother. I came here to talk to you. The old woman was watching Draper, but Chaffee saw her eyes widen. Ah, I'm looking for someone. Without moving, she shifted her eyes to Chaffee, then back to Draper. Almost imperceptibly, she waggled her head, a gesture so equivocal that Chaffee wasn't sure if it was an invitation to continue or an order to shut up. I'm looking for someone from the war. Still, she wouldn't look at it. Which one? There's always a war. From 1940. Ah, that war. She paused, thinking something over. So who is this man you're looking for? His name was Drake. He was with British intelligence. Oh, a spy. And you think I must have known him because I've been around since before they started measuring time and I've met everyone. Something like that. Drake. I wonder. People saw spies under their beds back then. Everyone fancied himself a spy. Tell me, what is a spy? Someone who keeps secrets? Are you a spy? What are you keeping from me? What are you holding back? When he didn't reply, she chuckled. God knows I must be a spy. I have so many secrets. She took a puff from her cigarette and turned her head in a slow circle as she released it, wreathing her head in smoke. But all my secrets are about dead people, long dead. What's the use in having secrets if no one cares about them anymore? I'm not after secrets, Chaffee said. I just want to know if you knew a man named Drake during the war. Madame Dubois looked at Chaffee as if he had only now sat down next to her. Ah, yes. You're looking for someone. Believe me, he's dead. Who's dead? She returned to watching Draper, making clear that as far as she was concerned, their conversation was over. Everyone I knew. So there's a little selection out of Tangier. Maybe I'll read a little bit more of it another time. Thanks for your patience. And as I say, you can find this along with my other books, Madagascar and Sri Lanka, through your local bookstore or the usual online sources. All the best, and I'll be writing or talk to you again soon.